It is never done.
That's a constant work in progress, and it can be tiring. That you think, once I get this bit done, I certainly did. And years gone by, where I think, right, once I get this little bit of whatever's come up done, I'll be happy. I'll be done.
Yeah. But happiness, and it doesn't mean to say every day you got to wake up and go, yeah, I'm going to smash. What can I mean, I've always had this philosophy of, if it's to be, it's up to me, and it has to be today, because tomorrow never comes.
If it's to be, it's up to me.
Yesterday is gone. You don't have to smash it every single day. You got to enjoy it. You got to have presence and stillness, and despite all my movement, I get meditation from exercise because I'm just in my own world. When you go for a 6-hour run, on a Sunday, or 60 or 70k run, or you run, you go for an overnight training run. Like I go for overnight training runs where, you go to work, you come home, and then you set off at 7, have something to eat, you set off at 7 p.m, you just run 100 Ks, and then you rest for an hour, and then you go to work.
I guess there's a lot you learn about yourself when you're doing that as well, right? That's the stillness that people are looking for in meditation.
You do, and this kind of, and you separate. My world has been, the roles that I've had. They don't go away when you leave work. They're there at night. They're there at the weekend. Whether you're actually doing something or you're thinking about something, it kind of, there is no rest, and but you just find a way. I would fly into state every single week a bunch of times, or I'd fly into state for a day. If I had training sessions, I would make sure I did them, and that might be that I got back at 8 p.m. at night. I'd gone with my suit and a backpack, and I changed out of my suit, put it in my backpack, and I run home from the airport.
I heard you say that.
Or I'd go to a function, and you kind of disappear, because I didn't drink. I didn't drink for apart from a few beers here and there where I had to. I didn't drink for 25 years. I do now. I have the most wonderful person, my one. I found my one in life, and Lisa has leveled me out. Like, she's balanced me, and I balance her, and I have a few drinks now, and
Beautiful.
Not quite so serious about the training, and I'm now about feeling good and longevity. So
one thing I did want to ask you was, is there ever a time where you have a classic version of retirement? But I guess what you're saying is that
no such thing.
That can be a version, though, right? Because you're no longer running triathlons, but you're like, I want to write a book, I want to get majorly published, I want to have a few. I mean, that is a version to some extent, right?
Absolutely. I worked in financial services for 35 years, and that was predominantly in financial advice. As an advisor early on, and then running organisations or regional teams. And one of the biggest aspects, the biggest financial event of your life, by the way, is retirement, is stopping work. It's far bigger than anything else. Most people are not prepared, they're not equipped, they're not educated. They always think it's sometime, it's like way off or whatever.
Yeah.
But it arrives one day. And I would see people, thousands of people, hundreds, thousands of people that arrived at that point in time unprepared, that couldn't wait for retirement. And they got there and they had no idea. No idea what it would take. No idea that one of the biggest purposes in their life, much as they might bemoan it, was actually going to work with a purpose, to do something, to create something, to be a provider. And you are surrounded by people who, some of them become your friends, and then all of a sudden one day you're at home, and no disrespect, you're home with your wife, and your wife's not used to you being home.
Yeah.
And you are not used to being home.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most destabilizing events in life. And you have all the time to think in the world about what you did or didn't do. But all of a sudden, this big piece of purpose, your identity, this huge identity, who you were. Maybe you enjoyed leading and growing people. Gonski. All those people are gone. You're at home. So purpose, as opposed to a goal, retirement is a goal, and it's something. And our challenge is, instead of enjoying the moment, enjoying what we're doing, we look forward to shit. And like Friday as opposed to Monday. Monday's a day. You get 24 hours. You choose your Monday, as opposed to letting your Monday choose you.
Yeah.
People look forward to Friday. Next thing comes around. The next thing, the weekend's going, it's Monday again. By the time you get to 70, you will have lived 10 whole years of Mondays.
I quoted this on my Instagram the other day from you after I read your book. I love it.
At the age of 70, you asked most people and said, you know, if you wasted your Monday, what would you do to get 10 years of your life back? They do anything, most people.
Absolutely.
You know? So
absolutely.
That's wisdom. So every day is a day. It's within your capability to influence your happiness and those around you and what you do and what you achieve. Valuing it. Every day is a gift, valuing a day. So this thing about, you know, retirement and a goal, I tell you, the time when you need the most purpose in life is when you have nothing else to do. When you have those golden years, so to speak, you must have purpose. And very few people have a purpose in retirement. The people that are the happiest, that live the longest, have balance. They use their minds. They contribute to community. They do something productive. They feel worthwhile. They're engaged. They get up in the morning. They got shit to do that means something, as opposed to waking up. Oh yeah, I go get a coffee and then I read the paper and then I go home, and
there's no purpose.
No disrespect. No. I'm going to be brutal. Like, I'm not normally brutal. You know, if you don't have a purpose, you're waiting to die. Seriously, you're waiting. You're just counting down the days. They all become the same.
There's so much evidence around that sense of community and that sense of purpose. You talk about the blue zones in your book, where these communities where they have people living past 100, ridiculous stats of people that live past 100, and they looked into is it food, and of course food plays a part, and is it, but some of these guys are smoking and drinking way into being 100 plus, but it's that sense of purpose, that sense of community,
and movement. You got to keep moving. I mean, one of the things I love the most in my life is, you know, I go up the road to my local community. Hey, you know, and you listen to people and you have genuine conversations and you try to work out how you can make their day better, or how, you know, you can actually listen to them, because especially in retirement, few humans ever get listened to. Loneliness is the biggest killer, and they don't get listened to. And you can tell, you can see people that are going somewhere to sit somewhere and hoping they can have a conversation with someone and someone will listen to them. You know, people go to a doctor just to get listened to because there's no one else. Maybe their family aren't close by. Maybe they're on their own. And you as a human, if you recognize that, you can bring so much joy to someone's life. It's really simple.
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
Go and walk past them, say hello, how you doing, you know? And, you know, with a retired person, ask them what their career was. Ask them what they did in life. And you watch people light up, unless it was a crap job. But most people light up, I drove a taxi, I did this, and it was their identity. So I think that's just about always being mindful of everyone else around you and what difference you can make. I love that. That fills my cup.